this is Dave Lorenzo with RainmakerLawyer.com, and today we're going to talk about how you can get more referrals by using the awesome power of stories. That's right, telling stories can actually help you get more referrals. Here's how it works. You see, our brains are actually giant computers. They have extremely large capacity. We only use a small portion of that capacity, and in a section of that small portion that we use, we keep the names and information of people that we've met over the years. Well, in order to access that information, it's just like accessing information on a computer. When you sit down at your computer and you look at the desktop of your computer, you really don't know where everything is. So you have to open up a file in order to reveal all the other files that contain the information that you want. And sometimes within those files, there are even more sub-files that have information that you're looking to access. Our brains work exactly the same way. So when you're speaking to someone from whom you hope to get a referral, here's how you can draw it out in them. You have to get them to open the file within their brain that contains the information you need. And that's where stories come in. One of the ways that I like to start out when I'm looking to get referrals from clients is I say to them, I work on a referral basis pretty much exclusively. All of my clients come to me based on referrals from other clients or people that I know. Do you work that way? I mean, how do you get your clients? And as a lawyer, most people are going to say, yes, referrals are great, I love referrals, I work exclusively on referrals. They're going to respond affirmatively. So when they say that, you say to them, you know, one of the things I find is that it's often difficult to get names for people to work with because when I put them on the spot like that, they just can't think of anybody. And, you know, I like to think back to a time when I've met people in the past and recall those times, and I help other people do that in this way. I tell them a story about how I met someone years ago, somebody famous. I used to work in a hotel, and famous people used to come in all the time. This was back when I was going to college. One day, I was working at the front desk of the hotel, actually standing in front of the front desk, and I saw someone walk in. He was a little hunched over, but he had kind of an athletic build. He was kind of shuffling his feet a little bit. And when I got closer to him, I realized it was Muhammad Ali. It was the champ. Now, when I was growing up, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, Muhammad Ali was the guy in boxing. He was all the rage. He was the champ. So to see him walk over to me at the front desk was a huge, huge thrill. And actually, a friend of mine had a camera, and at one point he went like this, and we took a picture together, and it was the champ and I, and it's a great picture. I still have it today. Do you have a story like that? Then they'll tell you a similar story of when they met a famous person, and what has happened is they've opened the file folder of people that they've met and they've known throughout the years. You've gotten them in the mode of recalling situations when they've met people. So the next step, after they tell you that story, and there's a ton of goodwill in the area now in the room, after they've told you that story, the next step is to say to them, hey, do you know anybody who, and then you fill in the blank with the qualities of people who you want to meet. So in my case, I say, hey, do you still keep in touch with anybody that you went to law school with? And they say, yes. Is there anybody who you went to law school with who practices in the area of trust and estates work? Oh, sure, Joe Smith. Okay. Would you mind if you introduced me to Joe Smith, because I'd really like to meet a trust and estates lawyer? Sure, no problem. Joe's a great guy is usually what they say. Or I'll say something to the effect of, who do you know in this local area that's really on a roll? Which attorney do you know that's really, really doing well? Somebody you know well, you could pick up the phone and call. And they give a name, and I say, would you mind making an introduction to that person for me? That would be a great person for me to know. Not that I'm going to sell them, I just want to get to know them. That's how you get people into the mindset. So if you're an attorney and you want to work with CPAs, you say to the person you're sitting with, hey, do you know somebody who's really, really good at doing taxes? Or do you know somebody who's really, really good at structuring a business to avoid the implications of the estate tax? Those kinds of questions will get them into the mindset of thinking, and they're already predisposed to thinking about people they knew in the past. Those kinds of questions will get them into the mindset you need in order to get more referrals. So, to recap, here's what you need to do. You need to tell a story first yourself about how you met a famous person in the past. you need to get the other person to tell you their story about meeting a famous person, because that opens up the file of meeting people and recalling people they've met over the years. Next thing you need to do is you need to ask questions that get them to think about the qualities of the person that they know. Really, really important. Once they start thinking about the qualities, that file automatically becomes segmented in their brain, and they will delve into it and find you, the person you're looking to meet. That's how you get more referrals, by using the awesome power of stories. My name is Dave Lorenzo, and for more great tips just like these, you can visit me at rainmakerlawyer.com. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.